am Sonia Grace Tom Cowell, and
I am Peter Aiden Tom Cowell.
We will be reading Nobody Has a Funny Name by Janet Hughes Mersereau.
The illustrations are by Beth Farrell.
For all the rainbow children.
There once was a little girl named Susie who lived with her mother and her father in a very big city where there were many, many different people with many different faces.
And this little girl named Susie loved to play outdoors.
Every time she saw another little girl or boy, Susie would say, "What's your name?" And if she liked the name, she would say, "Oh, that's a nice name."
But if she didn't like it, or if she had never heard it before, or if she couldn't pronounce it, she would laugh and say, "Oh, that's a funny name."
And sometimes, when Susie would laugh, the other little girl or boy would cry. But Susie didn't notice. She would just go on playing.
One day, Susie's father came home from work and told Susie and her mother to pack their suitcases because they were moving to a faraway land where Susie's father would do an important new job. They would be gone for 1 year.
Susie's mother was excited, and Susie jumped up and down and clapped her hands because it sounded like fun.
She had always liked the stories and books that her parents had read to her about faraway lands.
When Susie and her mother and her father had arrived in the faraway land and unpacked their suitcases, Susie decided to go outdoors and find a place to play.
She saw a group of little girls and boys playing near her new house, and they looked very different from herself.
They saw her too. One little girl said, "What's your name?"
And when Susie told her, the other little girl said she had never heard that name before, and she wasn't sure that she could pronounce it, but she didn't laugh. What she did do was reach out for Susie's hand and say, "Come on, you can play with us and be our friend."
And that is just what happened.
Now, when the time came for Susie and her parents to go back home after 1 year, Susie still loved to play outdoors. But do you know what she didn't do?
She never laughed at anyone else's name again because the children in the faraway land hadn't laughed at hers, and because there are beautiful people everywhere just waiting to be our friends. And nobody has a funny name.